welcome to my channel. I'm Tiffany, a retired librarian turned homeschool mom. That's Onyx back there. Being curious. And Jasper's. Jasper's in the corner here. I'll move to the side. You see the felines. Yes. And okay, so now that we've had our kitties, let's review this book. So this is Beauty and the Beast. It's illustrated by, oh dear, I'm going to butcher this one, Kinkuko Y Craft. So this is a slightly abridged, a little bit more abridged version of the Beauty and the Beast. Now, previous video I did 3 little short stories, and they did a very abridged version of the French book. This is a little bit longer, but it has gorgeous illustrations. So in this story, again, this is a standard Beauty and the Beast story with the 3 sisters. They don't do all 7 siblings, which is what's in the original book, and all the complications. Check out that video to see the very, very interesting original tale. So this is, it's going to give me who the author. So this is loosely retelling of Jean-Marie La Prince de Beaumont's version, first published in 1756. So again, it's shortened, and again, they do 3 sisters. So you have the basic beginning. I will go through some of them. Are those illustrations gorgeous? So you have the merchant. He has 3 daughters. He's wealthy. He loses everything. All he has is a cottage when he loses everything. Beauty, the older sisters do nothing. Beauty eventually gets used to it and becomes kind of happy. Father gets news there's a ship. But by the time he gets there, everything's taken to pay his debt. Beauty's only asked for a rose. He gets lost on his way home. He comes upon a castle. So we have a gorgeous photograph there. And he picks the single red rose, as you can see. And then basically the beast tells him, okay, here's the deal. I won't kill you. You can take a chest of anything you want, and I'll have it sent to you, but you have to send one of your daughters back to me, or you have to come back in 3 months. So that's essentially what happens. Beauty goes to join the beast. This is on a horse by the name of Splendor. So that is one gorgeous looking horse. So she comes, and in her sleep, this is what's said to her. Lovely Beauty, dry your eyes. In this place no danger lies. For when you have a wish or need, you have only to ask, and I must heed. So this is kind of the fairy who will kind of take care of her. And again, every night the beast, and this one kind of looks more like a bearish hyena, asks her to marry him. And she says no, even though she comes to love him. So eventually she sees all sorts of things. We have some gorgeous things to entertain her, and fairies and oceans. And then basically she's very sad because she misses her father. And he's like, okay, here's a ring. Go visit, and in the morning you'll be at home with your father. But after, all right. Let's see, how long does she have? Onyx, not right now. Onyx, basically she goes, basically she has a week. And so otherwise she puts this ring on and turns it 3 times, and may I see my beast again kind of thing. So she goes to see her father, and there's her and her father. These illustrations are absolutely fabulous. But then she realizes she has a dream that the beast is dying. So she leaves a note to her family, twists the ring 3 times, bring me to my beast. She wakes up in the castle, and she's home. But she doesn't, eventually she finds him. He's by the pond. He's dying. She kisses him and says, I love you. I will marry you. And then he turns into a handsome prince. and her father's brought to her, and she loves him. Then the two sisters are brought, and basically Fairy has turned him back. She brings her father, who's wonderful, and then the two sisters, and it's like, you have never been more selfish, and she turns them to stone. And basically it's like, you're there until you can not be selfish creatures anymore. And eventually, after several months, Belle realizes that no, they're not going to change, so she sends them out to the garden. And then her and the Beast live happily ever after. And I think pull up the last. And then there's the last. She takes the sisters' statues out, and so they can stand on wildflowers, but they're still stone. So that is this book. The illustrations are beautiful. This is definitely kind of a, I wouldn't say this is a bedtime story because this is really, really long. You could definitely read it to younger children again, but I'll open the book again and show you kind of the size of the font here. So the font is, it's kind of small. And there's a decent amount of writing here. So this is definitely a story time book if you have like a half an hour, 20 minutes, if you want to read it to the younger kids. I don't think my daughter's quite ready for this. The other thing is, as you can see, the illustrations are beautiful. So if you're, with the older kids can do this, because again, it's a beautiful story. It's obviously shorter than this. This is the original. Which is again very, very complicated. Check out that video. It's a very interesting story. But this also, with the illustrations, it can appeal to the older kids because you can probably create a curriculum out of looking at the illustrations and what you can find in them. Oh, sorry. I have a small child. I'm exhausted. It's also very, very hot outside. Yes, this is being shot still in September here, early September. So I'm not far ahead at all. So it's still hot here in Arizona. But again, as you can see, just by the cover, the illustrations are beautiful. You can find different concepts in the illustrations, and it'll probably be a great book to go over and just kind of study art. So it can double as that, as well as looking at the fictional tales in this book. Again, it's not as short as the one that's in this book, but certainly not as long as this thing. Which again, that's the original translated tale, of course, because the original was written in French. So, and probably not modern French. Because I think, well, no, maybe it was written in the 1700s, so most people in France could probably understand it. It was originally written. But nonetheless, beautiful illustrations, great book. Definitely you can read it to elementary school kids, and the elementary school kids might be able to read this. But again, it's a really amazing book. The font's kind of tiny, but again, I could say, I'm trying to think of what age, maybe late elementary is the earliest I think could read this, but again, you know your kid's skill better than mine. I don't think my daughter will be able to read this until she's at least 8. But we'll see. It depends. We're just working on learning to read. So that is the end of this review. If you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe. I have a whole bunch of stuff. I am covering Beauty and the Beast. I'm going to be doing media with this when I can get to it. The next couple of reviews for Beauty and the Beast, I'm going to be covering, I think the one is in the Lilac Fairy book. I can't remember what the other one is, but these are kind of some of the original fairy tale stories that are, I think, not quite Beauty and the Beast, but close along the same theme lines. So I will be covering those. Those will not, I will be reading those online. So I will not have physical copies of those. So again, like and subscribe. I have no idea what I'm covering in October. I don't know. But again, I will be finishing off Beauty and the Beast this month. I am working on Wings of Fire. That's going to come slowly just because they're long books. I've already posted the first one. So the first one will be up by the time you guys see this. So Again, like and subscribe, leave a positive comment if you have one, and again, give you another quick look at my baby Meezer laying in a car seat that should be going into my husband's car. It's just we're having car trouble, so it's here. So again, like and subscribe and leave a positive comment if you have one. Thank you.